Stranded in Lodebar. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt forgotten, cast aside? Living in a place of no hope, no joy, no future? If you've ever been stranded in a season of pain, regret, or rejection, then you understand what it means to be stranded in Lodebar. Lodebar wasn't just a physical place. It was a spiritual condition. It was the land of nothing, a place of barrenness, brokenness, and bitterness. Today, I want to talk to someone who's been living beneath their promise. Someone who's been hidden in a dry place, waiting to be remembered. Let's begin in 2 Samuel chapter 9. And David said, "Is there yet any that is left of the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?" 2 Samuel chapter 9 verse 1. David is now king. He remembers his covenant with Jonathan. While sitting on the throne, David's heart turns toward kindness and covenantal love. Ziba responds, "There is still a son of Jonathan. He is lame in both feet." Let's pause there. Mephibosheth was injured in a fall when he was 5 years old. Since that day, his identity shifted from prince to cripple. Maybe life dropped you. Divorce, betrayal, sickness, poverty. And now you feel disqualified. But God wants you to know, your condition does not cancel your covenant. Ziba tells David, he is in Lodebar. Lodebar means no pasture, no word, no communication. It was a place off the grid, a spiritual wasteland. You see, the enemy wants to isolate you. If he can cut you off from hope, from people, from purpose, he can convince you that you're invisible, unusable, unworthy. But just because you're in Lodebar doesn't mean God has forgotten your address. He knows where you are. Stranded in addiction? He sees you. Stranded in depression? He's coming. Stranded in shame? Help is on the way. Then King David sent and brought him out of the house of Mashir, from Lodebar. The king didn't just send a letter, he sent for him. Some of us have been living so long in survival mode, we've stopped expecting rescue. But hear this, the king is calling you. He's calling you out of hiding, out of shame, out of fear. You may be lame, but you are loved. You may be broken, but you are chosen. When Mephibosheth arrives, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said, "Mephibosheth," and he answered, "Behold thy servant." He expected judgment, but received grace. "Fear not," David said, "for I will surely show you kindness, and you shall eat at my table continually." Imagine that for a second. A man who couldn't walk is being offered a permanent seat at the king's table. God isn't just trying to get you out of Lodebar. He's preparing a place for you. You don't belong in the back alley. You belong at the banquet table. You are not forgotten. You are favored. Restoration beyond imagination, right? Mephibosheth shall eat always at my table. And he was lame in both feet. David restored his land, his dignity, and his place in the palace. But notice, David didn't heal his feet. Why? Because sometimes God doesn't remove your limp. He just seats you in high places with your limp, so the world will know it was His grace that carried you there. You can still be lame and legendary, broken but blessed, forgotten by man but remembered by God. Just imagine the royal table at the palace, covered in fine linen. Everyone is seated, warriors, princes, commanders. Here comes Mephibosheth, carried in by servants. He takes his seat, And as the tablecloth is spread across the table, no one can see his crippled feet. That's what grace does, you know. Grace covers what shame exposed. Grace brings you in when rejection kicked you out. Grace restores everything the enemy tried to bury. You may be stranded in Lodebar, but God has not abandoned you. He's sending for you. He's restoring your name. He's preparing a seat for you at the table of mercy. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. That's Psalm 23 verse 5. You're coming out of Lodebar, not crawling but carried by covenant. No man like to be carried. Come home. Get out of Lodebar. The King is calling your name. Lift your hands, lift your heart and say, Lord, I may be lame, but I'm coming. I may be broken, but I'm willing. Restore me, seat me, cover me in your grace.